Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast.
Now back to Studio A and the award-winning Scott Michlin Morning Program on KSJE.
And we have an extra segment for you today because there's been some breaking news, and my guest here in the studio is none other than Justin Piochi from the Pioche Food Group. Welcome back to KSJE. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And the reason you're here is because there was a big happening earlier this week, right? You were on the TV show Chopped, and the episode finally aired, and now we can talk about it, right?
Yep, finally.
How about that? But it was way back in October of 2024?
Yes, sir.
That you were on the show. So they recorded the show. It was you and 3 other chefs competing, right? All indigenous chefs, indigenous foods, and things like that. That was kind of the theme of the episode, right?
Yep.
And so this was in California?
It was in New York, actually.
In New York. Okay. Got you. And so you competed, and what were some of the things about the competition, I guess, is what I wanted to ask you a little bit about. They were giving you certain ingredients, and you had to come up with an appetizer or a main course or whatever, right?
Yeah, so the basis for Chopped is a competition cooking show, and so it goes by 3 rounds. First round starts with 4 people, and we all have to make an appetizer dish given the ingredients inside the basket. Everything has to be incorporated in some way, shape, or form.
And you don't know what is in the basket till you look in the basket, right?
Yes,
and you don't get to choose what you get. It's just luck of the draw kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay.
And then so first round is appetizers, next round is entrees, that's down to 3 people, and then the last round is down to the final 2 contestants, which I was blessed to make it up to.
Right.
And that was dessert round.
Okay. And one of the rounds you had, was it whitefish that you had to use? Is that?
Yeah, that was the first one, the appetizer.
The appetizer round. Okay, because that's the picture that I have here to show everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so what did you come up with from these ingredients?
So the whitefish, I'm a little familiar with, and so I know there's a ton of pin bones inside of there. So I don't want to say I cheated, but I just went and took out the middle bone part where all the bones usually lay.
Sure.
And then that's what I used as my main, the meat, so to speak, and actual meat for the dish.
Okay.
And I wanted to think outside the box a little bit, and I come from an area where Pioche Food Group and our multi-course dining experience with my mom and my sister, shout out.
Right.
We love to make sense of everything that we do, and we put on the plates in front of our guests as well. And so one of the biggest things that we do with Pioche Food Group and our multi-course dining experiences is that we love to start the meal out with tea, and sumac having happened to be relevant in our area. The staghorn is a little bit more east, I guess you can say north and east, than what we get down here. In the Navajo, we call chilchin. We usually make like a porridge out of it, but we've done all kinds of all really fun things with that. I mean, we made popsicles, all kinds of different stuff. So I took the tea, boiled it, added some maple syrup, or I put agave, I'm sorry, because it's lower on the glycemic index and better for Navajos in general.
Right.
And so I put that as a tea or a digestif in order to get the judges' stomachs ready to start eating food and all that. So then the meat, and then of course the pawpaw puree. I'm not really familiar with it. It's, to me, the first thing that I smelled was yogurt, which is why everyone's teasing me and making fun of me, like, oh, what smells like yogurt? Somebody suggested I make a shirt that says "smells like yogurt."
Well, maybe,
Pioche
right?
fruit,
See? Hey, whatever works, right?
I know, right? Trademark.
Exactly. But so you had to use certain ingredients from the basket, but then the kitchen has almost anything else you could ever want, right? For whatever you wanted to come up with, and that's how you're able to add some of these extra things too, right?
Yeah.
To the dish.
There wasn't a whole lot of stuff, but there's a good amount of things that we were able to choose from.
Okay.
The different thing is that they don't tell you, and you don't see on the show, is once that ingredient is out, it's not available for the other rounds.
Oh, okay.
And so,
once you've used it, you've used it.
Yeah.
It's done. Okay. But obviously it worked out.
Yeah.
Because here you are, because you moved on, and the competition got down to just you and one other chef, yes?
Mariah Gladstone, yep.
Okay.
She's a force to be reckoned with, and I give her all the props in the world for sure. She's an amazing teacher, educator, but also chef as well. And I got told by the judges later on, like, she gave me a run for my money for sure. And
Right.
it was really close, I guess.
Well, I guess so, but still, you gave her a run for her money as well, it looks like, too. And so you had a viewing party this week, right, at Buffalo Wild Wings. Shout out to them. And a
Yes,
bunch
sir.
of your fans and family were there
Yep.
to watch this episode live as the determination, I guess, came from the final round, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's take a look at that. We have the clip from
Awesome.
what was going on at Buffalo Wild Wings. So let's take a quick look at that and listen. And there you go. They unveiled the winning dish, and it's yours, and that means you win.
No, that's actually the losing dish.
Oh, that was the losing one.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's,
but we still
Mariah's.
figured that out. That you. So then the last one was yours.
Yeah.
Which also means that you won.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
And-
the way it works is they show who got chopped, and so when they pull
Thank you.
the thing off, that's who got chopped, and Mariah's unfortunately was the one who got
You got chopped,
yeah.
but you did not get chopped.
I didn't.
And so you won the competition. And so, how hard has it been not to say anything? Because you're legally required not to talk about this
Yeah.
episode until it airs, right? So that's been over about a year and a half.
Yep, it was super hard for some people because a lot of people I really trust were like, "You can tell me," and I was just like, "Just wait for it to come out, man."
Right.
And, I did have to tell my mom a little bit about what happened because she made the trip out there with me, and of course I'm coming out of the studio like smiling
Yeah.
ear to ear, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh!" and she was so blown away. It was super cool. But
I bet.
her and my sister were probably the only ones that knew, but they were sworn to secrecy because they know how important and legally bound we were to not say anything.
Right. But now you can.
Now we can.
The truth can be told,
It's
right?
all over the place now.
Exactly. And so what went through your mind? What went through your head in that moment back in the studio a year and a half ago when you saw her getting your competition getting chopped and you go on to win?
Well, honestly, I was waiting for my dish to be underneath that because I made these minuscule little mistakes along the way, and I was just readying myself to just be chopped. But not to say that I was being negative in my own sense. I was pretty confident in my cooking abilities, but just got to be ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
And-
But it wasn't your
but
dish. It was
me,
her
and
dish. So,
I was kind of like, phew.
right.
I was like, wow, I did it.
yeah.
I actually did it.
Right. And I mean, you're no stranger to a professional kitchen. You're no stranger to some of these competitions and things like that. We know, I mean, your reputation precedes you. And so, but it's great to see the recognition too from the judges and to get this national recognition too for you and the family and the company, right? I mean,
Definitely. A lot of people have been giving us a lot of support on social media, which is awesome. And I hope to at least be a light to some of the students that I've been able to teach throughout the years, especially when it comes to agriculture, because I want to stay rooted in our mission in order. I always say, I take a page out of Tupac's book and I say, if I can spark the interest of at least one student to take on the role of agriculture, then I think I've done my job. because agriculture is a huge part of Navajo food history, culture, and all the above. There's so much land that's not being used, underused. We only have so much water. So that's a really important step, I think, in order to preserve our history and our culture and push forward in these efforts, along with my colleagues that were on the show. And one thing I wanted to point out was that when before anything happened, we all kind of had like a little huddle, and we said, no matter what happens, like, we got to stay true to our mission. We got to support each other no matter what. And I thought that was really powerful in itself. So
yeah,
everybody lifted each other up. I mean, I talk to all of them to this day, and they're still really good friends of mine, and I look up to them as well in certain aspects where I'm lacking.
Sure. Well, I think it's great that you're all still connected and talking to each other. And how important do you think it is to have a national audience, a national television audience for Indigenous foods and Indigenous chefs and things like that, to really focus on the work that you've been doing all your life?
I think it's really important, especially right now, because this conversation is as loud as it is. It's only going to get louder, and I just feel honored and privileged to be in a space where now my words they somewhat mean something to some people, and given this platform, I just want to make sure that I hold it with responsibility, because with great power comes great responsibility. And
right.
So my mom has definitely taught me to be humble, man, because you can always get knocked off your horse like easily as you got it back on. And my sister as well, she's really strong. She does a lot of the work that, say I travel, she picks up the slack, and she does basically what a co-owner and also sous chef should be doing in that sense. And I have 100% faith in both of them, and they've been carrying me on my journey. So
you have a good team.
I have to give them mad props. I love both of them very much, and my immediate family, my dad, my mamado, my brother, all my aunts, my uncles, and all my cousins. I can't name them all because I'll be here all day. But they've all supported me to the max, and I also got to thank God, because that's first and foremost. I wouldn't be here without the doors being open and being able to walk through those with confidence and knowing that this is the right step and the right move during that time. And I didn't tell anybody this before, but Food Network actually was knocking on my door quite a few times before this happened, and I didn't really see the opportunity to be relevant at the time, because my story was still being told and still being built. But when they made the note that this is going to be an Indigenous chop challenge, I was like, man, this is really important. This is going to be huge, and I'm just super blessed to be a part of history now, because that was the first chopped full Indigenous competition.
Right. Very cool. History maker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm part of it.
Well, yeah.
but I guess being the winner, then yes.
That did it. That's true. Very true. Well, it's very exciting. And so I guess I want to find out what's next. What does this mean now for Justin Piochi and Pioche Food Group? I mean, you now have this extra little accolade on your resume and on the wall. And so what does that mean? What are the plans from here?
I really would love to keep traveling and cooking wherever I am blessed to go. A brick and mortar, I don't know if that's in the cards just yet. I mean, I love the freedom that we have to be able to pick up and go. No wife, no kids, no husband, no kids for my sister as well. And so
you guys can be pretty mobile and react pretty quickly when you get a catering job or whatever it is, right?
Exactly. And so maybe in a few years or so, when I'm a little older and tired, I mean, I'm going to be 40 this year.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I know, right? I'm starting to feel it, and I might need to settle down at some point. But I really would love to create a space where I'd have like an incubating area, especially out here. There's a couple spots I've been looking at that have been of interest, and I guess the biggest thing is capital.
Right.
What I've been learning is without that money, you can't really do a whole lot. And so we'll see what happens and see what God has me to do.
Okay.
But definitely want to keep pushing the indigenous food movement forward, and I want to be a more responsible, public figure for not only my immediate family, but for Native peoples across the world and indigenous peoples in general, because that helps me grow as a person, helps me grow as an entrepreneur, and also just builds better character as a Christian man in a world that's getting crazy sometimes. But
well, and I think you see yourself as a role model for younger folks who may want to follow in your footsteps a little bit.
I hope they did make the right choices that I've made in my life. But, follow that.
Sure.
That lesson. But to each their own. I mean, nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? And I don't know everything about anything, but I do know some things about some things. And I appreciate people like you, Scott, and always being there to support me, my family along the way, and using your voice to help promote our little town of Farmington, New Mexico, and launching us into, it's going to be 2027, like
right.
Soon.
I know, you're true. That's true, and you're very kind to say that. But we're very proud of you.
Thank you
and
so much.
The work that you do, and your family, and your company, and you represent the region very well in all these competitions. And so will be some more competitions, do you think, if the right one comes along?
We'll see. I really would love to be on, what's the other one? Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
I'm drawing a blank. Everybody knows it too.
The Top Chef one?
Iron Chef.
Iron Chef, that one. Yeah. Okay.
Top Chef, I did.
You were on that one.
Oh, I was about to be on it, but something happened.
Okay. But Iron Chef is one you're watching for me.
Iron Chef is the real deal, I feel.
Okay.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, producers have your number, I bet.
Yeah, I hope so.
They do now. They do now, for sure. Well, Justin, again, so proud of you. Congratulations. Good luck with all the other things coming your way and the other connections that you'll be making. And I know you'll be talking with more people, but we wanted to get you in to celebrate with you and with your family. And again, spread the good word about your successes. So thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
You bet. Good to see you. It's Justin Piochi, the winner of CHOP, the Indigenous Chefs Competition, my guest here on KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.